French Shalom and greetings to you all. In the next couple of weeks, two important dates in the calendar occur, and I'll speak of them both as they approach. They're just a week apart, and they actually represent the saddest and the gladdest days of the year. Now, I've mentioned it before. Now, the first is Tisha B'Av, which means the 9th day of the Hebrew month of Av, which is the 11th month of the year. So it's a 9/11 before there was a 9/11. Now, many horrible events took place through the years on that date, including the destruction of both temples and several expulsions of the Jews from various countries. Will there be another expulsion coming? We'll talk more about it when we get there, which is only a couple of weeks away. And then less than a week later is Tu B'Av, which means the 15th of Av, which technically is a minor holiday because, again, it's not listed as a major holiday in the Bible. And it goes back to Temple and Mishnah times. And it's the only time other than Yom Kippur which called for dressing in white, and on which single girls in Jerusalem went dancing in the vineyards and celebrated love and new beginnings. Now, to many, it was considered the most important day of the year, a light, non-religious but essential holiday. No matter what you feel, there's more power in love than anything. It holds the universe together. And we need it now more than ever. And while love is a unifying universal entity, everyone and everything is different, but the same. We're all the core parts of the same. Yes, there's shared knowledge. Yes, there's shared characteristics. But possession of knowledge alone cannot bestow virtue, happiness, or fulfillment. For these things, we must look within and beyond ourselves, and we need to make change. Now, summer seems to be flying by. I notice it getting darker every day now. And I hope you've all been celebrating this time of the year when we are called upon to live life to its fullest. And it seems to be birthday time for so many people. We've celebrated many, and now we have birthdays of Sandra and Martin, my old friend Ryan. Coming up, we have Gabe and Leora. Sounds like the birthday list on Captain Kangaroo or the Commander Tom show. May all of you with birthdays this time of the year have an awesome day. I think Agent K, who I haven't seen in a very long time, has a birthday coming up now, too. But I hope all the birthday people have an awesome year of love. And in a year of unknowns, may all your dreams come true. And we can realize our dreams. Unfortunately, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality, and that interferes with our ability to make sure that our dreams come true. There's some things that do torment us more than they ought to. Some torment us before they ought to. Some torment us when they ought not to torment us at all. We are in the habit of exaggerating or imagining or anticipating sorrow. We often tend to catastrophize. Now, it's likely some trouble will befall us, but it's not a present fact. How often has the unexpected happened? We worry about things we don't need to worry about. How often has the expected never come to pass? And even if it is ordained to be, like last week, what does it benefit to run out to meet your suffering? You'll suffer soon enough when it arrives. So look forward, meanwhile, to better things. Don't focus on what may be a negative thing coming in your life. What do you gain by doing this? Well, my friends, if you don't dwell on the negative, you gain time. Man has survived their own executioners. Even bad fortune is fickle. Perhaps it will come, perhaps not. In the meantime, it is not. So look forward to better things. Now we must work to make better happen. How do we do that? Let's say we have someone who was a tried and true Nazi. They believed in the extermination of Jews, shouted Sieg Heil along with others, and decides to run for office, and because of his past, can't appear so awful. So he stops saying Sieg Heil. Says he won't say it anymore, but never says it was wrong. No one in their right mind would believe that. Well, welcome to the modern political world where pretending for a short time till a vote occurs is supposed to erase a life of belief and demonstration. Don't listen to somebody. Look at their actions. The attention span of man seems to have shrunk to that of an amoeba. No longer is the more than possible next mayor of New York saying globalize the Intifada. He said that the other day. He's not going to say it anymore. At least as of today, he's not going to say it anymore. It doesn't sell. But that doesn't remove years of anti-Semitism or belief in the death and extinction of all Jews, since that is what the Intifada means. Whoever chooses to vote for this is inviting into their lives just what they will get. It is people letting other hatred blind them and close their minds. The mob mentality at its highest. Don't fall prey to it. Open your eyes, people. Now, even more sickening is a new federal report that's shown that the vast majority of anti-Semitic action is rampant at the school level, and it is instigated or supported by teachers and administrators. That's bad enough that it's ignored. And apparently, it's over 50% of incidents are supposedly not investigated. But worse than that, the dehumanizing effects on children cannot possibly be measured yet. This is not just anti-Israel comments, but this is pure hate. It's time to wake up. It's time to see the damage that the lack of education is now having. Now, this is a part of us that makes us interact with who and what we are. We're all different, but we're the same. And one thing that makes us the same is our need and desire to come together as we do like a like-minded group, a collective consciousness of seekers showing faith, any and all faith, love, any and all love, because we accept everybody. We come together as a community, a fellowship, a chavura, as we express our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes, because that's what unites us all as we gather in our community house of spirit, Beth Ruach, sharing and bringing light, keeping fear at bay. And even though together we're individual in our approach, each connecting in his or her or their own way. And none of it is unacceptable. So once again, go ahead and invite everybody, some physically, digitally, psychically, emotionally, spiritually, any way at all to gather and share from Psalm 133, the Hine Matov. Come together. Hine Matov U'Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad Hine Matov U'Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. How good and how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community. 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 Together. Now we support each other in this community, so let's all spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the world. Remember, friends, this is you setting aside a little bit of sacred time in your own sacred space to honor and converse with whoever, whatever you happen to believe in, because we all believe in something. It's a part of your kavanah, your intention that you put out to the universe. It's your goodwill. Goodwill and intention are the roots of what you can control, of what you can correct. It is your intention that sets in motion everything that occurs in your lives, my friends. It's goodwill, energy, light that we send to help heal whoever you know that needs it. Healing and renewal for everybody. Floats through space, finding those in need, so send it out for those you know and for the souls and spirits of everybody you love. So think of whoever that needs healing and renewal and love, or just plain goodwill. Focus on them. Call their names. Not just for people, it's for our pets. It's for the earth. It is the healing of the world. It is the tikkun olam that is part of our spiritual genetic makeup, and a part of the healing of the world is when we send thoughts and energy for health and renewal and goodwill for everybody. They don't have to be sick. It's for those in our hearts and our minds, because we care about all humanity. So let's all send energy out for the people in need everywhere. And always, my friends, special thoughts and prayers for those in need of assistance, because we pray for those who need prayer. We don't have to know them. We want health, recovery, good life for everybody around us. Let's continue to send healing energy for the hostages, still held, still languishing in prison in their pits of despair, forgotten by new wars, by new events, new celebrations. Another week has passed, and nothing. But these are the never-to-be-forgotten victims of innocence that we say never again, but do nothing to ensure never again. Time is not going to erase them. Let's continue to pray for the victims of the tennis Texas flood, the poor children, still going on. And for all of those close to us, for Alan Powell, for Winston, Inura, for Esther, I'm visiting for the week, for my fairy godmother, who asked me one of the best questions of all time that I've been revising a lot of research for Charles, for Bill and Miriam, for me, for the Carsonoris, Callie, for Gabby, for Trevor and Jess, for my old friend, the MW, who I'd love to see come down for a visit sometime, for Terry, Luke, for the elf, for Sabrina and Dave, for Maria and Paul, for Pam, for Alana, for Pinky and Fern and Johnny, for Kathleen, Bean and Carla, for John and Maria, always struggling along, hopefully doing better, for Doria, for Gloria, for Connie and Ronnie, for Tally and Mayim, for Nina and Danny, and all those suffering and in need. And let's not forget to include all the familiars of our lives, all of our sacred animal friends everywhere, for everybody you know in need, for the whole world, for the bee. We pray for those who need prayer. It is the kindness, healing, wishes, goodwill, and love we all send out. It just circles the world, finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care, because the world is a world of spirit, and spirit, my friends, never dies. Be Shabera. Avotenu Makor HaBracha Limotenu. May the source of strength bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage. Make our lives a blessing. The renewal of body. The renewal of spirit. Let us say, Amen. Misha Barak, let us all have our spirits renewed. This is the great prayer for healing, which we call upon God to heal as he has healed before. Misha Barak, may he who blessed. Because all healings are blessings. Let's all send and receive healing and renewal energy in our efforts to love, to share, to care, to grow. Now, I hope you all enjoyed last week's preordained story. And you know, we all know asses who have a lot to say, but most are not as worth listening to as Balaams. Keep that in mind. Now, we're almost at the end of the book of Numbers, which at one point would have been the conclusion of the Torah, as it ends with the people poised to enter the promised land. There's something magical about that. It is a true metaphor for life, when we often see what we have reached for still just out of reach. There's still more for us to do in order to get there. And friends, there is still more for us to do, even if it's just to help others on the road. And the ones that were visible last week and are visible still when you open your eyes were and are the angels. And you know what? We all have angels in our lives. It's those whose job it is to help those on the road. I'm on the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again. Life I love is making music with my friends. I can't wait to get on the road again. But the Torah doesn't end with this book, because we have that mysterious fifth book, the book of Deuteronomy. We're going to do that in 2 weeks. The book meaning retelling, a book which was lost for several hundred years, and as its name suggested, was a retelling of the law. When we read it, you will see. It could have been one of the books to be written by the king, or perhaps the one true book of Moses. We don't know, and we never will. But before we move on, we're going to read about the grandson of Aaron, Pinchas. It's a reading which starts at a very strange place in the Torah, partway through events and with no visible beginning. And that's something we're quite used to. We're quite used to beginnings, mid-sentence, mid-event, so to speak, this one. That confuses us. It's about the grandson of Aaron who demonstrated that he felt the presence of the Lord and took action, which held him sacred. I have finally found a way to live, just like I never could before. I know that I don't have much to give, but I can open any door. Everybody knows the secret. Everybody knows the score. I have finally found a way to live in the presence of the Lord. It's a story about devotion, faith, belief, something we all strive for, but only few truly have. Numbers 25:11. Pinchas, son of Eleazar, son of Aaron, the priest, has turned back my fury from the children of Israel by his carrying out my jealousy among them. So I didn't finish the children of Israel in my jealousy. Therefore say, here, I'm giving him my covenant of peace, and it shall be his and his seeds after him, a covenant of eternal priesthood, because he was jealous for his God, and he made atonement for the children of Israel. Now, for some activity, we don't know what it is, was actually at the end of the prior reading. Aaron's grandson is rewarded with what Aaron was actually already rewarded with. But if you tell somebody over and over again, this is what they're going to get, it becomes greater believed. So what was it? There was a couple in the tent of the tabernacle, the famous red tent, having sex. So he took a spear and ran them through. Now it's worth reading, but much more so in the biblical Hebrew, which is filled with pun and innuendo, and it's really quite clever. Unfortunately, translations do not capture it the same way. Now this is the famous red tent, which has been talked about before and which we'll speak of again, and which has been the subject of films, TV shows, books. It's connected with women and with the color red. It is the kubah in Hebrew, and it was a tent used to house sacred objects. Now, it was also a tent containing the sacred prostitutes, and like the biblical tabernacle, was made of red leather. So we have all these things made out of red leather. Since this episode begins precisely at the entrance to the tabernacle, also called the tent of meeting, it certainly appears the kubah here refers to the inside of the tabernacle. That's why we can assume that the couple was having sex in the tabernacle and not in one of the other places. It is a story of zeal, of execution in the name of God, of cementing privilege, and you're actually going to see that it sparks the first legal fight for women's rights. I am woman, hear me roar, in numbers too big to ignore, and I know too much to go back and pretend. 'Cause I've heard it all before, and I've been down there on the floor. No one's gonna keep me down again. You're gonna read this, and you're gonna say, so what happened? Well, things change. Sometimes it takes a long time to recognize that change perhaps was right. This is a winding down part of the book, and much occurs as the book winds down and things get a little bit confused, because we get a listing of all the holidays and their observances and rituals. But I want you to note there is no history added, no purpose, no reminder of why each holy day is even observed. The ethics and morals now take a backseat to ritual. And perhaps that is why to this day so many more are concerned with the mechanics of observation over the meaning and reason for observation. I myself go the other way. I want you to understand why and develop an appreciation, and maybe that will entice you to put a little more spirituality in your own life, instead of getting you to focus on observing rules and hoping if you do it enough, it becomes a part of who you are, even though you'll never know why, but you'll know how. And other than this little recap of the holidays, which kind of takes things away from what we're really going to look at, much of the rest of the reading is primarily the results of the census, with the result being shockingly similar to the census at the beginning. Hey, that's why it's called Numbers. You got a census at the beginning, a census at the end. But the census at the beginning was pointless. All those people are dead. This one, however, has purpose. Numbers 26:51. These are the counts of the children of Israel, 601,730. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, the land shall be distributed to these as a legacy with the number of names. The land in the new land will be allocated along census lines. And that means the Jubilee will restore them when they become askew. Now, how many think that if there was ever a Jubilee, a redistribution would occur? It's a great concept, one that I fear man is still not ready for. Although in New York, you may be getting it sooner than you think. The people of this generation are the ones who actually had the most unique view of God in history. And everything about their struggle is about their learning to believe. What he says, he does. And most of us have actually forgotten how to believe. Don't let me drift too far. Keep me where you are, where I will always be renewed. And that which you've given me today, worth more than I could pay. And no matter what they say, I believe in you. I believe in you when winter turns to summer. I believe in you when white turns to black. I believe in you even though I be outnumbered. Oh, though the earth may shake me, oh, though my friends forsake me, oh, even that couldn't make me go back. Statistics, sadly, now show that fewer people believe in God than at any other time. And maybe it's times of doubt and fear when you need to look within to see what you need in order to believe, in order to have any kind of faith. Then we get this big seismic shift. It occurs in Numbers 27:1. It's truly an astounding event, brought about via the census, but not related the same way. But it has deeper repercussions, one that crossed gender barriers, had legal implications, social implications. It's an incredible historical event, not celebrated, although I don't know how they would write it today because things are different. This book was written when there was a very defined male and female and rights, especially legal, for gender and for inheritance, and they were sacrosanct. And here we have an episode that gave rights to women in an era when they actually had very few rights. Numbers 27:1. The daughters of Zelophehad, son of Hepher, son of Gilead, son of Machir, son of Manasseh, of the families of Manasseh, son of Joseph, came forward. That's a pretty good pedigree there. They stood in front of Moses, in front of Eleazar the priest, and in front of the chieftains, all the congregation at the entrance of the tent of meeting, saying, our father died in the wilderness. But he wasn't among the congregation who were gathered against the Lord in Korah's congregation. Rather, he died through his own. He had no sons. Why should our father's name be subtracted from among his family because he didn't have a son? Give us possession among our father's brothers. And Moses brought their case forward in front of the Lord. So they petitioned Moses and all the tribal leaders they should inherit. And Moses, who has spent the last 40 years being judge, this is purely above his pay grade. He's taking their case straight to God. Went straight to the Supreme Court. And the Lord said to Moses, Zelophehad's daughters speak right. You shall give them a possession for a legacy among their father's brothers, and you shall pass their father's legacy to them. They speak right. They are entitled. They will inherit. They didn't even have to identify with being male for God to agree. Things have changed. Yes, my friends, the world is sacred, so is everything in it. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish. Celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom. Be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light, and all who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone, an end to terror and hatred. Remember, we're a community. We learn together, we celebrate with each other, we love each other. We share this ride together, men and women equally. Let's send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, and healing to all who need it. And this would be a great opportunity for those who are really in the mood to do so, to write their own Mishnah about it. What happened that caused the change from women inheriting to then them not inheriting? Be an interesting thing. Learn to forgive, my friends. Learn to love. Open your hearts, honor the relationships of their life, and tell all those you love that you love them. Got the holiday of love coming up. Examine your intentions. Use them to print your will on the universe, because we set in motion everything that happens in our lives. Everything's linked. It's our intention, our kavana, our cause, our effect. Now, you always have time to forgive and be forgiven, because you have the knowledge of what's good and bad. So acknowledge what you have done wrong to yourself, to God, to any person you've wronged. Ask forgiveness. But always do so with sincerity, accountability, vulnerability. Forgive those who've hurt you. You should learn to be forgiving and compassionate, because the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people in the world, just as they are? Can you accept life as it is without trying to control it? If you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. Just keep on dreaming, my friends. Keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching. Keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear, follow love. It's always in front of you. Work to be present in the body. Expand the heart, quiet the mind, because the deepest source of real power lies in consciousness and the ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all of life's circumstances. Love with the heart, because we are all part of a greater whole. Embrace love, not fear. Forgiveness, not anger. Get rid of blind hatred. Be there for someone, because someone is always there for you, whether you know it or not. And continue to explore faith and belief and what they mean to you. Never accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel others have felt, doesn't matter what it is. People have felt it before. Whatever you've experienced, others have too. People have experienced it before. We share together. We learn together. And we help each other. We are angels to each other. Because we are each of us trying to find love and acceptance and support. We all have or could have that special someone in our lives, so find them and tell them what they mean. You're never alone on your journey, my friends. Listen to the voice of God as God talks to you. And remember, your connection to God and everything that's been created, whether it's in body, whether it's in soul, whether it's in mind or spirit, it's a part of you. It's a part of me. It's a part of all of us forever. Listen to that voice of God, because God is talking to you. And enjoy this journey. We are on the road in the wilderness, and all the things we see of the people happening. We see a nation forged. We see a code, not just ritual, but ethical. We see our character and our understanding of the interconnectedness of the universe coming together. We see the reality that we are forever blessed if we open ourselves up to the blessings. Yeah, you're going to, go through patches in life, but that's what it is. But enjoy this journey. Celebrate your freedom. Celebrate love, because the holiday for love is fast approaching. And love, my friends, is the one true, unstoppable power of the universe. The power of love is a curious thing. Make one man weep, make another man sing. Change a hawk to a little white dove. More than a feeling, that's the power of love. First time you feel it might make you sad. Next time you feel it might make you mad, but you'll be glad when you found that's the power power that makes the world go round. The power of love, my friends. No matter what you feel, there is more power in love than anything. It holds the universe together. And friends, I love you all. Have a wonderful week. Thank you for joining me. Shabbat shalom and blessings to you all. Take care. Bye.